Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where OP's ex-girlfriend is now in a very difficult situation. Let's begin. My partner of 4 years had an affair with her coworker on a mine site. Posted by Reddit user TechnoDaza.
We started dating on September 20th, 18 on my birthday, so that day has always been extra special to me. My partner does rostered work. She works 8 days on a mine site and is back 6 days off. I work a decent 9 to 5 job, so we are both pretty well off. She's also an international resident, so I had decided to help her get her visa to stay. We applied for the de facto spouse visa at the end of 2020. For the first 3.5 years, our relationship was really good. We both loved each other and were doing so much together. Unfortunately, some clashes between her and my mum led to us moving out and renting a place for 6 months. She knew how to do everything, she's extremely independent, knows how to take care of a house, and cooked really good food. I, on the other hand, was a bit of a dropkick and didn't know how to do any of that properly. Mum looked after me a bit too much, which handicapped me a lot when moving out. Whilst I was working every day and being very smart with our money, we never had any money problems. I was also a bit selfish as a 23-year-old who tended to spend a bit too much time at the computer and away from household chores. I did make sure I spent some time with her though. We watched some good shows like Game of Thrones, Money Heist, and Merlin. I did, however, clean enough to ensure we got 100% of our bond money back. I did all the de-weeding by hand. After our 6-month lease was finally up, we bought a place together. This was around September 2021. She started her mining job around December 2021. And me, still being a dropkick, didn't do much of the housework, although I did learn to cook some dishes, as I needed to make sure I kept myself fed whilst she was on site. But I still didn't do the laundry or vacuum and mop the floor, cause my standard of cleanliness was so much different from hers. Instead, I spent my time learning how to invest because she told me she wanted to make a lot of money. I designed an investment plan just to suit her. I enjoyed investing a lot, but not so much in cleaning. Come April 2022, and she breaks down in our bedroom at my lack of help around the house. She tells me she's incredibly stressed with having to come back and do all the housework after 8 long days on the mine site. At this stage, I finally wake up and become the adult I should have become long ago. I started vacuuming and mopping the whole house once a fortnight and doing the laundry every week, making sure she has an empty basket to work with when she came back. It was like a switch was flicked on in my head. I should also mention that sex was non-existent in the last year of our relationship. She didn't want to take the pill due to side effects, although she was on it periodically for the first 3 years, and we had sex then. I went to buy a pack of condoms, but then she went and hid the condoms when we were about to have sex. So I just refused to have sex with her because I didn't want to have unprotected sex and risk pregnancy. She even suggested that I take the male version of the pill that makes my sperm infertile or something. I don't even know what she was on about there. I kept up my routine, making my own lunches and maintaining the house while she was away. I finally become an adult that could survive on their own. But the relationship didn't seem to improve. Slowly over time, she stopped cooking for me and didn't like me touching her in bed. She also gave me her cheek for kisses instead of her lips. Looking back, these were all red flags, but I was blinded by love and my desperation to save the relationship. I kept up with the cleaning and maintenance. She even went back on the pill to balance her hormones, or so she claims. I tried initiating sex with her again at this point, but she refused. And then came September 17, 2022. I was mopping the floor in my computer room and couldn't use it because the floor was wet. I went to use her laptop instead and saw everything in Messenger. She had been in a casual but intimate relationship with a man on the mine site, a little bit younger than me. The text messages were extremely explicit. I saw they had this going on since late July. I couldn't go any further back because I was about to throw up. I confronted her about it that night, and she told me she had been extremely stressed with work and had fallen out of love. I didn't understand. She loved me when I was a total dropkick. All of a sudden, I become this mature and capable adult, but she doesn't love me anymore? I was a total wreck for the next week and couldn't sleep well. I decided to call things off with her. I cannot be with someone who commits infidelity. We are going to split up our assets and go our separate ways. She told me she wants to remain as friends, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, nor do I think that's a good idea for either of us. This also has implications for her visa. She is currently on her temporary visa until the end of November this year, at which point we are supposed to sign off on some documents so she can get her permanent residency. I told her I refuse to sign any documentation, as I basically have to lie, which can get me sent to jail along with a big fine. She may still be able to get her permanent residency if the department decides to award it to her, but she is at a much greater risk of having to go back to a student visa, which means she will lose her mining job, along with her life savings of having to enroll in some course she doesn't want to complete and pay international student fees, which are bloody expensive, along with wasting years of her life just to progress her spouse visa, all for nothing. Despite the harm she has inflicted on me, I hope she gets her permanent residency. It doesn't affect me either way whether she gets it or not. But at this stage, I have no influence over it because I have already withdrawn as her sponsor. I cried multiple times in front of multiple people. I cried because the vision I had of us being together, with our many successes around us, is now impossible. I cried because I was forced to make decisions that would either harm myself whilst benefiting her or harm her whilst benefiting myself. I cried as I enter the empty and dark house after work is done, knowing that she is living with her friends and I am alone. I will be moving back to my parents in a few months' time. It makes no economic sense to stay out here on my own without a partner.
I'm very petty, so I hope she loses her visa. Playing stupid games, eventually you will win stupid prizes. But she dug her hole, and let her climb out of it. Because she works at a mine site. You see what I did there? Huh? You see? Anyways, definitely do not lie to help her, OP. You're a young man. You can move on from this and learn the lesson here. This was an exit affair. By the time she began crying to you about your lack of effort, she had already checked out. She unfortunately just chose to end the relationship in the most ridiculously immature way possible. At least you can use this as your own learning experience and personal growth. You didn't deserve to be cheated on. She could have been honest at any time and just broke up with you. It would be best if you go no contact as soon as possible. She knew the situation and the implications that will follow. That's on her. Her actions have consequences, and it's time to pay up. You need to look out for yourself first and foremost, and absolutely do not be friends with her, OP. You can't be friends with someone who traumatizes you in such a despicable way. And now, for today's second story. My friend is my brother's side chick. I don't think I want them in my life anymore. Posted by Reddit user Ping Pong Alley.
My brother is not the greatest person. He's always super toxic to his past partners. It's funny because I've told my friend how much of a liar and manipulative person he is, but still decided to sleep with him. It made me very angry, but I moved on from it. He then started sleeping with more people while still sleeping with my friend. She was not aware of this. She assumed he was going to ask her to be his girlfriend. I don't know why she thought that, lol. They've known each other for 6 months and haven't been on a date. He's just using her. I found out he was sleeping with other people when he brought home his pregnant girlfriend. I was shocked. I didn't tell his girlfriend anything because I didn't want my parents to scream at me. I told my friend everything, but still gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying his girlfriend was manipulating him into a relationship and how psycho she is. And how he's going to crawl back to her in no time, and how she sees herself marrying him. My brother ends up blocking her. Our friendship ends up becoming her asking about my brother, informing me in their intimate moments, asking me updates on his relationship. I ended blocking her after I was trying to talk to her about something I was going through, and she just made it about my brother. A month later I unblocked her because I felt guilty about cutting her off like that. We've been normal up until a few days ago. She's been obsessing over my brother again because she saw his girlfriend unfollowed him on Instagram and she messaged him, have been flirting again. My brother is still with his pregnant girlfriend. She knows this, but she's telling herself that aren't. I personally don't like putting down women, but she's insane. She romanticizes everything about him. Right now, she's on a call talking about all the sweet things he tells her. I'm so mad at them. They are grown adults. It's just gross, it's all gross, I don't know. Sorry for the rant.
Yeah, you're right, OP. They are grown adults. but you can't save them. The only person that can be saved here is the pregnant girlfriend, if and only when someone informs her directly or anonymously. Wink, wink. Look, OP, the bottom line is you need to tell your brother's pregnant girlfriend. It doesn't matter if your parents get angry with you because they should have raised a better man. She is having a baby with your brother, so keeping this from her is extremely fucked up. Your parents are also fucked up for even thinking of screaming at you for your brother's own actions. Do the right thing, OP. And now, for today's final story. My sister is fucking my boyfriend. Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA sis F my BF.
It's what the title fucking says. The girl who's basically been a sister to me all my life and who I'm living and going to college with is fucking my boyfriend in my goddamn bed. We've been dating for 6 months, so I know it shouldn't hurt as much, but this was also one of my first real relationships, so like I don't know. I guess what makes everything worse is that they don't feel bad about it. Like, he asked me to join them?
Yo, what the fuck? Is your boyfriend trying to make you and your sister do a Sandra and Alice Romaine here? What? That's just fucked up, man. Really, that's just so fucked up.
He was just going on about creating this place where we could live happily and I wouldn't have to be hung up about propriety and shit. For the record, I haven't had sex with him yet because I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm a virgin loser, I know, but he's convinced it's because of society or whatever, which I didn't really get, but he backed off after a bit of pushing regardless, so I didn't pay too much attention at the time. Anyways, he wants to make this place where we could live happily with a bunch of other girls he's been fucking texting behind my back. My sister was just nodding her head along, like he wasn't spouting utter bullshit, and was talking about how much closer we could become. I left after that, and now I'm at my college's library on Reddit. I'm still in shock, I think. I have no idea what to fucking do. I can't go to either of our parents. We had a bad fight because they didn't want me to stay with her, but everybody in our family has always picked on her and treated her badly even when she's done nothing wrong. I don't really have any friends outside of my sister and boyfriend that I can stay with. I have most of my important stuff with me, aside from documents and other little trinkets and plushies, but just the thought of going back to my room is making me nauseous. I don't know if I should just bite the bullet and ignore everything, or wait it out or something. I don't want to lose my sister or my boyfriend, but I'm so fucking angry with them both. I just really don't want to start crying in a library. What do I do?
Wow, that is one delusional motherfucker right there, OP. But yep, it checks out. Your parents and family are right. Looks like they care for your happiness. That's why they didn't want you to be living with your sister. As for the living situation, go back and use your own space. I mean, somebody's paying for it, either you or your parents. Tell your sister and boyfriend to fuck off. Tell them since it's your place too, you want your boyfriend out and to stay out. Then, when you can, find a better living arrangement. But whatever you do, OP, don't backslide. You're meddling with very venomous snakes here, and you need to show some self-confidence and self-worth. Lastly, OP, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin. I mean, look at me. I'm approaching my 30s and I make these ridiculous YouTube videos for a living. You can't be a bigger loser than I am. Good luck, OP. But do you know what will make you a loser? Not considering to donate to me, your host PattSun. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.